Hi everybody, welcome to my craft room. My name is Laura and I'm coming to you from a little island just off the coast of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I always forget to tell you where I am. So welcome to my craft room, my YouTube channel. If you want to find me other places on the internet, I will have it all linked down below. But my Instagram handle is iheartyou, spelled E-W-E, and that is also the name of my Etsy shop where I sell handmade project bags, and you can find me on Ravelry as iheartyou knits. So today I'm going to just take you through the knitting I've been doing the last month or so. It's, what is it today, the 11th of March, I think. So it's been a while since I caught up with you and told you about my recent projects, but at the same time I haven't been doing a ton of knitting. Not that there's any reason for it. This often happens this time of year because, it just feels like spring is like kind of on its way, and I'm really big into gardening. We don't have a huge garden, but I put a lot of time into our veggie garden. And my husband and my friends and I are really into camping and getting outside in the summer. So anyways, that is very distracting right now because as soon as, the weather just starts to break here, I start thinking about kind of outdoor things like that rather than, sitting inside and being all cozy and knitting. But I have had a few cozy knitting days as well. So I do have a little bit of progress to show you. And then at the end, I would like to show you these project bags here. I just added them all to the shop on Monday, but there's lots of them left. I did some like really extra large ones this week as well. Great for like a bigger project or for, if you're on the move a little more maybe this time of year. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is what I'm wearing. This is the Throwover sweater by Andrea Mowry. This is one of my more recent finishes and I'm really loving it. It is knit out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted, and it is a little bit tighter than I was kind of hoping for. I was hoping to have a little bit more ease. You can see it's pretty fitted, but that was just me kind of fudging my gauge a little bit, and the Wool of the Andes is just a little bit lighter weight than some other worsteds. So yeah, nothing wrong with the pattern or anything like that. I think I knit the 40 or the 42-inch size, but I still really like it and it's still going to be really wearable as well. So no complaints there. Up on my little doggo here, I have this amazing dog hanger here who, he should probably have a name. He doesn't have a name yet, but either way, he is wearing my Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie made. And not much has changed on that. I think I was working on it when I showed you last. I had done like maybe half of the yoke, and I got to the end of the yoke one night and I thought, okay, well, I'll just put it aside and then I'll split for the sleeves when I pick it up next. And I put it away and I just didn't touch it. So it's still in the same place. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think I just brought the bag in here and hung it up. It's been living in this Knit Picks bag you can see behind me, and I just completely forgot about it. So I gotta pull that back out and get the sleeves separated and then move on to the body, because that's kind of silly. But yeah, no issues with it, no problems. That is also Knit Picks yarn. That is Knit Picks Swish DK, and I think the colorway for that one is Lemongrass Heather. So yeah, really happy with that still. The other thing I put a little bit of work onto that you saw last time is this little baby Flax Light sweater. I like to have a couple of these stashed for when, babies pop up. So I just grabbed some sock yarn out of my stash. This is yarn dyed by the Fawn and the Fox Yarns, who doesn't dye anymore, but is a wonderful dyer, and I have quite a lot of their yarns stashed still. So this is just their sock yarn base. It's a 75-25 merino and nylon. And yeah, it's just this really beautiful gray colorway with blues and purples and navy and pink and a little bit of green in there. So yeah, I'm happy with this. I've split, like I said, I've separated on this one and I'm just knitting the body. When I start to knit the body on this, I start to like I only have one skein of this, so I can't alternate skeins, but what I do is I every 2 rounds I switch yarns from like pulling from the outside of the ball to pulling from the inside of the ball. And I don't cut my yarn or anything, I just kind of carry it up. You can just see there. And that just prevents some of the pooling because I think I told you last time, I've knit like 9 or 10 of these little baby sweaters now, and this speckly sock yarn always wants to pool when I get to the body stitch count. So I just started doing that. And then when I do the sleeves, I will do the sleeves 2 at a time as well, because it'll just make it go faster. And same thing, pulling one sleeve yarn from the inside and one sleeve yarn from the outside. Yeah. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to explain things today, but we're gonna get through it. So this is my old medium size zipper. I don't really make it with a zipper anymore. I tend to make the medium size drawstring instead, but that's one of my bags with the octopus on it. I put a similar print in the shop, one of the last updates. I don't know if there's any of the dark octopus, but there is this octopus on a pink background if you're interested in that. And then for new things that I started, so the next thing I want to show you is something I talked about in, I think, my future plans video that I put out in January. But this is the Breathe and Hope Shawl by Casapinka. I talked about casting this on like quite a while ago, and then what happened is I think the needles that I needed for this I was using on another project. I think it was my pink velvet sweater, and I didn't want to take them out of my pink velvet sweater because they maybe would never find their way back onto that sweater. So I decided to finish it before starting this shawl. But anyways, I've been planning this for a while. This is the Breathe and Hope Shawl by Casapinka. And it's just got tons of really cool slip stitch details. This is all slip stitch in here as well. And then, you know, it's very similar to the other Casapinka shawl I did where you're just changing up what you're doing all the time. So it's been really fun so far. It's this kind of boomerang shape. That kind of rounded triangle shape, and I think it's gonna be really pretty. I really love the yarn combo I chose. Like, I'm really proud of my choices. I think I did a good job with this really nice charcoaly gray, and then this very pretty pink. So this is Spun Right Round yarn, and then this is Euphoria Knits. These are both sock yarns. So yeah, whoa. So I put some time on that, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's fun. It's not mindless, but it's not difficult either. So, you know, you have to pay attention to what you're doing somewhat, but not in a way that like you can't watch TV or something like that. Like, it's really enjoyable, and it still has that kind of meditative, like, sort of potato chippy feel that we like with our knitting. So yeah, I have this living in this medium drawstring, which I think is a really great like 2 skein shawl project bag. And then the last project that I started is just some plain vanilla self-striping socks. Oh, they're showing up really well on camera. They're just really bright. I think I just needed something springy and bright. Absolutely no plan with these. I actually just shoved them in a bag with some needles because I was going to town, you know, and as I mentioned, I live on an island, so we were taking the ferry going to town for the day. I was going with a friend, so I packed this with me, but we ended up just chatting and catching up as we were on the ferry, so I ended up just starting them the other day. But you gotta have your like safety yarn. You know, I couldn't imagine leaving the house for 8 hours without my knitting. So anyways, so I decided to cast them on the other day, even though they didn't get cast on for the ferry ride, which is what I was planning. But I did a 64 stitch sock, just my regular sock, and I ended up knitting 2 stripes before I switched to stockinette with just my 2x2 rib. And then something I've been doing lately is I've been doing the long tail cast on, and then you can just see here that what I do is I make the slip knot for the long tail cast on right where the colors change colors. So right where this light color here changes to the darker blue, that's where I make my slip knot for the long tail cast on. And so then my tail is the lighter color, or the last stripe. And then my working yarn is all this new stripe color. And it just makes this fun little like top kind of edge. And then the other thing I like about that is I know exactly where to start my second sock so that they'll match perfectly. So I just did this, I think I did it on my, like on a pair of Christmassy socks that I knit, and I really liked how it turned out, so I tried that again. But yeah, yarn, this is just Knit Picks Felici. This is in the Hopscotch colorway. And I'm just looking at these 2 balls of yarn and they look like completely different colorways, which is starting to concern me a bit. But we'll deal with that later. They're the same dye lot. Maybe one of them is bleached out a bit, but I'll pull from the center. Anyways, just trailing off looking at this, being like, why is this one not as bright as this one? But if it did get sun bleached, it'll be fine on the inside. So it's gonna be okay. So yeah, Knit Picks Felici, this is their limited edition self-striping sock yarn. I talk about it a lot. I think everyone knows a little bit about this. It's really nice and soft, and it is 75% superwash, 25% nylon. It has 218 yards to 50 grams. It is just a really nice smooshy self-striping sock yarn, and it's fairly affordable. So yeah, nothing really to report here. I've gone through like one kind of set of the stripes, and that's it, folks. That's all I gotta say about that. I got this bag in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, when we were visiting there last September. This is from the Mariner's Daughter Yarn Shop, which I would definitely recommend checking out if you're going to be in the Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, South Shore area. And then last thing I want to show you is some project bags that just went in the Etsy shop. So I just put all this in the shop on Monday. I normally do my updates on a Friday or Saturday for the Etsy shop, but I just needed a little bit more time last week, so I decided to do it on a Monday. And as a result, there's still a lot of bags left, just because it wasn't kind of on my regular scheduled update time. So if you're looking for something, there's still lots available. So I did a lot of like plain textured fabrics. Like this is Essex linen, and it is speckled almost like a tweed with bright colored kind of neps as it's woven. So it's a more rustic fabric. It's a cotton linen blend, this one happens to be, and it has that kind of tweedy feel. So that was kind of like the theme I went with this week. You can see all the bags are like not printed like a lot of my bags normally are. They have like just this beautiful texture on them. So either way, long story short, I called it the Textured Wovens collection. So there's this black with the speckles in it. These are sock size. I tried to do some of them sort of plain just because that was sort of the feel of these bags. This is this really nice like baby blue, and it also has the speckles as well. And then I kind of mimicked that with a polka dot on the interior of that one. This is a really beautiful kind of dark navy. The camera doesn't love blacks and navies. You can see like this is probably an appropriate example of the color, but you can see everything else is blown out now. So yeah, I'll just hold it a little closer so you can see the speckles. But it really is this really beautiful navy, and then I've done a red here as the accent, and then match that on the inside. And then this sort of nice coffee beige color as well, with the speckles. So I have all those in the sock size. This next pile is large size, and this is another really cool textured woven fabric. It's really like nubby. This was put out by Allison Glass a few years ago, but I can't remember the name of the line now. So I've got this navy, and it has the blue polka dot inside, and they all have pockets and a handle. So large zipper is great for like a fingering weight sweater project or something like that. This one has this really neon kind of coral stripe running through it. And then I did this really fun bright pink, purpley pink lining, and then the matching pocket as well. And then this is a different fabric, but as well, it's like rather than the fabric being dyed, these colors are woven in with different threads, different colors, if that makes sense. So this nice teal, and it has a bright kind of aqua blue with some green on the inside. And then these are the bucket bags, the Finch buckets, which I call like my extra large size. And then these are in those same linens I showed you. So they're a big drawstring bucket. They have pockets down one side. I did like a speckle lining on this one. Handle, they hold a ton. And I did those in the 4 linens. So that's the black, and then the navy, and the light blue. And then I've done these once before with a special print, and I decided to do them again. These are like an XXL size bag. So these are huge. Last time I made them, I pulled out all of my sock yarn. I think it was 17 skeins of sock yarn that I had, and I packed it in here, and it's still, you know, wasn't full. So this is an awesome big blanket bag. Or what I love about a big bag like this is if you're traveling or, you know, going on the ferry. I don't know if you ride ferries like I do. This can be your big bag. So this will hold, it can hold all your projects. You can have a project in here, multiple projects. You can have your wallet and a water bottle and snacks and really whatever you need in here, because it's huge. So yeah, so I did 3 of these. I really like them. They have like the tote bag kind of style handle on the top instead of on the side. And then they are full drawstring as well. So yeah, they're huge. I listed them as like, they're in my XL section, but I listed them as like XXL bags if you're looking for them. So that was the nice teal. This is, it's again blowing out. This is like a navy as well. And it's called Chore Coat. This was put out by Alexa, a bag of Ruby Star Society. So it's really thick, woven, textured, nubby cotton. And I did this polka dot for the inside as well. And then this is the same fabric, but it's been shot through with gold as well. So yeah, 3 big bags as well as the other sizes. And yeah, I love them. You know, you are gonna have to be okay with a little bit of like nubby neps and that sort of thing. The fabrics are not perfect. They're deliberately rustic. So they're not perfectly even threads all the way through and things like that. They're not messy, but they're just designed to have that more homespun look. So either way, these are in the Etsy shop now. I hope you enjoyed listening to my rambling description of them and a rambling description of my current knitting projects as well. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to wrap this up here. Thanks so much for joining me today and checking out what I've been working on, checking out the things I've been making for my Etsy shop. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. and all your wonderful comments and everything down below. I haven't responded to last episode's comments yet. I'm sorry about that, but I will definitely do that very soon. And yeah, if you missed it, check out my last episode. I cleaned up my studio, so I did a little studio tour. So if you're interested in seeing that, go and have a look. I'm not sure if everybody saw it because, you know, YouTube does funny things and shows things to people depending on their whims. So either way, if you missed that, go back and check it out. And yeah, like I said, thanks so much for being here and spending some time with me today. And I hope that you have a great day, and we'll be talking to you again soon. Bye.